Well, if this video found you, it's already done. If you've been here, then you are already familiar with our 13 through 19, referring to the major arcana. 13 being the death card, which signifies this all new, fresh perspective and journey along your path. The 1 through 12, self explanatory, you went through that on your own. And if this video finds you, you are on what we would consider the second fool's journey, meaning you're not new to this. You're definitely true to this. You've been here before, you've experienced these things before, but now you are able to implement things differently, go about things differently because when you know better, you do better. This feels like a second chance or a second opportunity or a second win. What's so funny is the way that the message came through to me is like, hey, Sherry, you do realize that we are already at 21 and we're done and beyond. And it was like a duh moment. Like, I was like, whoa, 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 because we never even addressed number 20 after 19, which was the sun card. We never addressed 20, which is the judgment card. And we never addressed 21, which is the world card, closing out the cycle. And Spirit was letting me know just the way that I overlooked those two topics, those two numbers, those two levels of completion. That's exactly how simple, how easy it is to overlook this new timeline, this new perspective. So I did channel, I sent this text message to myself. This came to me through the keyword eyeball. So the third eye and like the evil eye is significant. Interesting. You can actually see mine right here. So that is significant. And the world card. Also, I want to take note that this was sent at 1:32 p.m. One threes and twos could be very significant. You could be seeing 123, 132, 231, etc., etc., any combination of the numbers, but that is significant as well because death, the number 13, where we started with this together, the number 13 is 1 and 3, and 21 for the world card. So it talks about the entire cycle that we've been discussing up until this point. And there's major emphasis circling and cycling back to the number 12, which is the hanged man. Again, you would go through 0 through 12 and self reflect to see how your own journey reflects those numbers. I might do that either later in this video or in a whole different video to just go over or reiterate or to make sense of, because I notice that you guys really do love when we make videos like that where we make sense of what we've been through because it helps to clear things up about where we're headed in the future. But back to the channel. Your view of the world has officially shifted into alignment with your desired reality. Your current perception will get you exactly where you want to go because you are exactly who you think you are. Action is your best friend at this time. We really want to cycle back, maybe even rerun through those videos 13 through 21, which would be 13 through this one. I'll create a playlist or something like that. And this moment in time, this video finds you in like a, oh, duh moment because it's time to go. The time is now. And also something significant here, the number 420 or the day could be significant. Okay. And oh my gosh, the pre-shuffle. Okay. So are we backtracking? Oh, okay. So that was, I didn't plan this video, y'all. So we're backtracking. Okay, so that's what judgment 20 and 21, judgment and judgment is 20, the world card is 21. These two numbers, 20 and 21, judgment in the world, are literally us going back through to reiterate and make sense of what we've just gone through, what we've discussed up until this point. But we're going to do a quick run through now that we have the hanged man here, which is number 12, right before the number 13. For whatever reason, I don't question God, I don't question spirit. We started off at 13. We came together, we started building this community in its prime at the number 13 with the death card through the transformation and the splitting of the timelines, the quantum leaping into the new earth. The worlds have collided. We are here. Okay. So the number 12 is again associated with the hanged man, and this is a restful energy. Um, being held in what can feel like stagnation, but with the crown chakra being lit up, it lets us know that although there is no physical motion, there is plenty of motion in the mind. There's a lot being considered, there's a lot being learned, there's a lot being thought of. Okay, so backtracking from 12 would give us 11, which is the justice card. Justice talks about the balance aspect. Okay, I'm going to do a quick rundown all the way through. 10 is associated with the Wheel of Fortune. So the change, that's fate versus destiny. Okay. 9 is the Hermit, self realization. 8 is the Strength card, spiritual strength. And what's that word that I'm looking for? It starts with an R. Resilience could be associated with this. 7 is the Chariot, takes on a similar energy, a similar frequency to resilience because it talks about movement, motion going on despite the pushback, the difficulties, the questioning, despite the confusion, despite that this and that can too be true. 6 refers to the lovers, decision making, deciding who we are, how we feel, what we want out of life. 5, the Hierophant, structures, rules, organization, what matters to you. 4, the Emperor, who you are, your identification, and the Emperor and the empire in which you run. What does it look like? How is it? I don't know why I'm getting, how is it funded? That's something very specific that was along this path, along this journey. How is it funded? How is your path? How is your journey? How is the empire funded? Okay. 3, the Empress, femininity and internal true desires. Despite realism or being realistic, is simply what do you want? How do you attract it? How do you go about it? With little to no regard for difficulty or pushback or what ifs, just simply discussing what you want. 2, the high priestess, looking around and realizing that there's more to the story, looking around and realizing that there's more than meets the eye. Why is my brain wanting to jump to the Fool card? The Fool card is 0. Mm. As much as I do tarot every day, right now my mind is going blank on what the number 1 is, and there's a reason for that. Why are we going blank on what the number 1 card is in tarot? We skip straight over the High Priestess to the Fool, and right now my brain cannot fathom what 1 could possibly be. It'll make sense once I find it. My third eye is doing a little dancey dance right now too. There's the Fool. Yo, what? The Magician. Wow. Wait a second. Where is the Magician card? I know it's not lost. Did I see it and overlook it? The fact that I'm overlooking the Magician? What? I know you've got to be in here. I, you're right there. And just about halfway through the deck, right in the center, the Magician. Okay, so we went from the High Priestess, realizing that there's more than meets the eye, but we skipped over the Magician. The Magician was hidden, completely hidden, shielded, could not be seen, felt, heard. And then we skipped over to the Fool. And the Fool is wanting something more, seeking something more, exploring more. Why was the Magician missing? The Magician was on this current timeline. Wow. The Magician was ahead of the game. The Magician was missing because the Magician was putting in that work, preparing for what you're walking into right now. This is groundbreaking. Studies. Okay, so the Magician was focused on studies. We have the King of Cups. The Magician was missing, getting you ready for your position. Magician, missing, position. Hanged Man. Three of Wands, King of Cups, Hanged Man, the World. We're going to cover her in all her glory. The Magician was missing, preparing you for the position that's being revealed to you right now. The Chariot here, pursuing through the difficulties, going on anyway. In alignment, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Wands, King of Cups, Hanged Man, the World, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Judgment reversed. What did I just say that this video was about? Yes, we backtracked 12 through 0, but the focus here was Judgment in the World. Judgment is reversed at the end of the lineup. The World is at the center of the lineup. Bottom of the deck, the Three of Swords. This feels like a sword that missed the heart. Like a situation saying, like, that was close. Something was a close call. But there's this energy of relief. What am I picking up on here? Okay, so if I feel like the energy is grasping for air, looking for life, figuring out how to function, breathing new air, breathing new life. And right now, the energy's not landing anywhere until now. Remember, we always talk about the importance of recognizing energy, just you seeing it, you calling it out, half the time is enough to win the battle. This video finds you at a time to make your spirit aware of something that maybe even your flesh is completely oblivious to. But you're finding your footing, you're finding grounding, you're finding it. Oh, there could also be a sudden realization here of something that may have broke you and you didn't realize it kind of pumped the brakes, put you on pause. This feels like we've been floating in time and space due to some occurrence of the past. I'm being brought back to the Fool that took the magician's powers, which is why the magician had to zap to a future timeline just to gather the bearings while you went through this unfiltered time and space of Three of Swords energy. Felt like it broke you, but it never actually did anything. It's kind of just like life flashing before your eyes, and then boom, you collide here on this timeline where everything is well. And it's like almost everything that happened before was almost like a fever dream. Um, what is that scripture? Joel 2:25 or 2:55 or there's twos and fives in it somewhere. 22:5, I don't know. But the one that talks about God being a redeemer of time. You know what? Let me just look it up. Joel. How do you pronounce it? Joel or Joel? But 2:25. I will restore you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the crawling locust, the consuming locust, and the chewing locust, my great army, which I sent among you. This is God's promise of restoration of what was lost due to a devastating plague. Oh my gosh. Expect restoration. Things that just didn't make sense. I feel as though this is something that you have noticed or will notice over time. Things that just didn't make sense, weren't making sense, couldn't make sense. You couldn't figure out why this or why that, or even looking back and regretting certain decisions or at least questioning certain decisions. Yeah, my crown chakra's tingling. You're getting your mojo, your power back. Your first, this is why it's like a second chance. Your first time through, that's why the magician went missing because it was the first time through. So the magic just wasn't fully there. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend that I know the reason and the ways and the whys of God's universe. It's above me, literally. It's above me now. But what I will say that I can make sense of is that when you know better, you do better. This is your second fool's journey with the wisdom and the magic that you've always, I don't know why I want to say beheld, because you behold it and you always held it. But there's trust in divine time that's unfolding right here, right now in your life. Things that felt like they were frozen or on pause or on a break, get ready to break away. I'm hearing that song. And break away. Wow. Aries, and I split to Pisces, the beginning and the end. Leo. I learned how to fly. Do what it takes till I touch the sky. Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Water. And I've been talking about the influence of water right now, most specifically Cancerian energy. Cancer gets to the root, the root of the truth of the core of the wound to heal it. It nurtures it. Queen of Pentacles. And this is very significant. Cancer through Leo season, or if you're watching this at any other time and that doesn't specifically resonate, it's the very next zodiac sign. It's coming up. So right now we're in Gemini season, getting ready to enter Cancer season. So Cancer into Leo season is when this is all coming together. But literally right now into the next and the next zodiac seasons. So that would be what the next 2 months. Yeah, I'm hearing give me 2 months. I'm not going to take those. Oh, throat chakra energy. What the heck? I'm not going to take them, but I'm going to take them into consideration. Oh, yeah. Baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. A new earth is happening. Keep holding the vision. You got the love, Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries. And what would have been at the bottom of the deck? Exactly. I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. This is bridging the gap. Right now, we're bridging the gap from the old you, from the old world, to the new you, to the new world, leaving behind the fated life for the destined life. And great severing. Oh my gosh, from the old world to the new. The great severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Bottom of the deck says deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. So expect things to come up that broke you and maybe even made you bitter or made you angry. But now that energy has dissipated and now you're softening into love and understanding. And it's becoming easier to process, which is removing blockages. We're going to be highlighting, underlining, bolding, and italicizing the word forgiveness in this season. Things and people you didn't even know that you needed to forgive, or even aspects of yourself that you needed to forgive. Look at that. In order to, wow, I am channeling in order to duplicate the new beginning. This is a second chance. This is a second chance. Oh my gosh, rebirth, the second chance. Forest, breath, over the Five of Pentacles, judgment reversed. When you know better, you do better. What will you do differently? Keep and maintain your peace. Those regrets, those mistakes, they taught you something. You'll never move the same again. No need to have regrets, just move better when opportunity presents itself again. Anything else? I came into this reading completely blind. You guys didn't really know what was going on, but I'm so glad I did. September is significant. September could be when it all became broken, or September upcoming is presenting an opportunity to you for you to do things differently. Remember, we talked about in the Two Worlds Collide video, the one right before this, where we kept going through the same cycle, same cycle, same cycle, same cycle, same cycle, and it felt relentless. Felt like nothing was actually moving or changing. Something like that is coming up again, but now you know better, so you do better. Therefore, you're choosing peace. And maybe that won't be the popular thing to do, or I'm not even going to put any ideas in your head. It just may not be what you think. Bottom of the deck, wall, misunderstanding. The owl fell out on top of the world with the great severing, good advice from a wise person. And on top of the hanged man, the kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. That's why you were in what felt like timeout for so long, to get you to process, to understand. You see how these two cards are touching? Hanged man, the number 12 to the number 21. 12, 13. So we started at that 13, but there was extreme significance in your timeout, in your enlightenment, because it's preparing you for unsettled times that you need to plan ahead for. Now you're already prepared. It's already done. The work is already done. This is also talking about trusting in divine timing. And certain things may not make sense to you now, but they will by September. And this always reminds me, do you remember the 21st night of September? And I don't think it's a coincidence here that we have September that popped out on top of this forest, and they are both of forests, but just at different times of the season, it seems. Yeah, fall with this Five of Pentacles, something about fall is significant. Fall, and this looks like spring. I feel like there's a repetitive cycle that starts and or ends every September or fall and or every spring. And for some of you, summer. But you're seeing these things and now moving different. So let this be known that this is when everything changes. Leo, at the bottom of the deck, Leo takes responsibility. Leo takes charge, takes the lead, knows what's going on. And even when they don't, they got things under control. 11th house, it kind of is leaning in the reverse here. So this could be in regards to, yeah, not doing the popular thing, or not doing what's easily or widely accepted, or not doing what makes you cool. There's something about that going on here. And I'm just going to leave it at that because, again, I'm not trying to put any ideas in your head. I want you to move according to. And your final card for this read. Thank you for being here with me, Sherry. I pray that this video brought you everything that you need. Bottom deck, your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon, time to breathe out. disseminating moon. This is a period of relaxation, deep replenishment for you to retreat, rest, be held. Remember to take it all in. And you'll be so glad that you did. That's a blank statement. It's it's a blanket statement over everything that you've ever done in life, even the choices that you regret. A question. There's an exhale. There's a moment that you've been waiting for to exhale, to breathe, to relax, to let go, let God. And that moment is now.